Today, we are diving into one of the most fundamental stories there is, the absolutely remarkable 9-month journey from just a single cell to a brand new human being. I'm telling you, it's a process that is just packed with microscopic battles, brilliant engineering, and a race against some truly unbelievable odds.
So, have you ever really stopped to think about it? How we go from a single cell to, well, a person? It all kicks off with this epic race, a competition on a massive scale, with millions of contenders but only one single winner. Let's follow this story from that very first moment all the way to birth. All right, let's get into it. Our story starts with a staggering number of competitors. We're talking hundreds of millions, all charging towards one single goal. This is what we're calling the incredible race to one. So, as you can see, this is one heck of an obstacle course. First up, the sperm have to survive the mother's own immune system, which sees them as foreign invaders and tries to take them out. If they get past that, they have to find their way through the uterus. But get this, they're not just swimming blindly. The egg actually releases this kind of chemical scent that acts like a beacon, guiding them in the right direction. Okay, so as the survivors finally reach the egg, the final challenge begins. You see, the head of each sperm is packed with a special enzyme called hyaluronidase. You can think of it like a tiny little key, specifically designed to dissolve the egg's protective outer layer. And this is where nature's own security system just kicks into high gear. The instant that first sperm breaks through, the egg's outer membrane thickens up, creating this impenetrable force field. It's an absolutely crucial step to make sure only one set of DNA gets in, which then allows the two nuclei to fuse together. And that fusion, it creates something completely new, the zygote. This is it. This is the very first cell of a new person, and it contains the complete genetic blueprint from both parents. The star of our show has officially entered the scene. But believe me, the journey is far from over. Now that this new life exists, it needs to find a safe place to grow. It literally needs to build itself a home from scratch. For those first 5 days or so, the zygote is on the move, traveling down the fallopian tube, all while dividing and growing. Then, somewhere between days 6 and 12, it finally reaches the uterus and starts this incredibly important process called implantation, burrowing itself deep into that nutrient-rich uterine wall. The second that implantation starts, the embryo has to announce its arrival. It's like it sends out this massive chemical flare gun to the mother's body, basically saying, "Hey, I'm here and I'm taking over." And that signal is a hormone you've probably heard of, HCG, or human chorionic gonadotropin. The embryo starts pumping the stuff out the moment it implants. Its whole job is to take charge and orchestrate all the changes needed to keep the pregnancy going. HCG is a total master multitasker. It tells the body to halt the menstrual cycle, it keeps other essential pregnancy hormones flowing, and it even dials down the mother's immune system just enough to protect the embryo. And yep, if you're wondering, this is the exact hormone that all those home pregnancy tests are looking for. So, with the pregnancy officially established, the embryo now has to build its own dedicated life support system, an entire temporary organ that's going to sustain it for the next 9 months. Seriously, this next part involves one of the most incredible and, honestly, underappreciated organs in all of biology. It's the placenta. And here's the mind-blowing part. The placenta isn't part of the mother's body. It is built entirely by the embryo for the embryo. It's the ultimate bridge, handling everything from feeding time to waste disposal. Oh, I just love this quote. It's so perfect. The placenta grows into the uterine wall with these tiny, almost root-like projections. They create this massive surface area, which is just perfect for soaking up all the nutrients the fetus needs from the mother's blood supply. Now, this exchange is totally a two-way street. Good stuff, like oxygen and nutrients, flows from the mother to the fetus. And then waste products, like carbon dioxide, flow back from the fetus to the mother to be disposed of. But here is the most critical part, and it's amazing. Their blood supplies never actually mix. The placenta is like this incredibly sophisticated filter, keeping the two circulatory systems totally separate. As the months fly by, the placenta is just tirelessly working in the background, supporting the growing fetus. But as the end of the pregnancy gets closer, it takes on one last really critical job. The placenta starts producing a new set of hormones, like prostaglandins, that basically send out the memo that it's almost time for birth. These hormones help soften and prepare the cervix, getting everything ready for the baby's big arrival. So after the baby is born, the job still isn't quite done. The uterus actually contracts a second time,
and this is to deliver the placenta. This is exactly why it's often called the afterbirth. It's the second and final delivery, and it marks the end of the placenta's incredible mission. So, what happens to this amazing organ once its job is over? Well, in the last few years, that question has actually sparked a whole lot of debate. But first, let's just appreciate its size for a second. A full-term placenta usually weighs between 500 and 600 grams. That's a little over a pound. I mean, this is a substantial, serious piece of biological hardware we're talking about. And this brings us to the pretty hot topic of placentophagy, which is the practice of consuming the placenta. Now, people who support it claim it can improve mood and boost energy, though I have to be clear, there's currently no real scientific evidence to back that up. On the other side of the debate, health experts raise some serious concerns about potential risks. Because remember, the placenta's job is to filter waste, so it could contain harmful bacteria or toxins if it's not handled perfectly.
So let's end with this thought. For 9 whole months, this temporary organ acts as the lungs, the kidneys, and the immune system for a new life. It's an engineer, a gatekeeper, and a life support system all rolled into one. And after its monumental task is complete, it's often just discarded without a second thought. But when you really think about everything it does, isn't the placenta truly one of nature's greatest marvels?